after this 4-year period, these people will be transformed because they'll be properly disciplined. There were a lot of discussions at all levels in the defense units as to what will be the training imparted to them. Now, a lot of people claim that 6 months is too less a time to give them proficiency training. But I can tell you from my experience, I have served in the army for 20 years and I find that there are people who are serving with different specific requirements. They don't need to be teaching every soldier, does not have to be trained in all aspects.
Thank you so much, Lieutenant Colonel Pradeep Khere. Sir, starting with again on 14th of June, this month only, a transformative recruitment scheme was introduced in the Indian Armed Forces known as Agnipath. Sir, I want to particularly start about a lot of concerns have been raised again what after the service of four years post service and various avenues have been made. We can take an example of defense ministry as well. 10% reservation has already been given.
These are the people who are a trained lot. First of all, we have to understand the difference between the normal youth who's studying in school or college or doing any graduation at the age of 21 years or so. After that, most of these people, the youth, they are not having a proper direction. First of all, let us classify, there are some youth who are focused for joining the IITs, who are qualifying the NEET exam. These are the people who are the brilliant ones. They are the top cream of the students. In fact, this Agnipath scheme is meant to give employment and meaningful employment to those students who are average or below average, I would say. So these are the people who are not very much brilliant academically. So these people after 10th class, they get enrolled in this Agnipath scheme, and after 4 years, they complete this training of Agniveer. Now what happens?
So we can also say if you are brilliant enough in the academic section, even though you can come and serve the nation.
Yes, that of course, that are options always there. Those who are brilliant still want. For them, it's always there. So these are the people. Now, after this 4-year period, these people will be transformed because they'll be properly disciplined. They'll know how to get up early in the morning. They'll know how to keep themselves physically fit. They will know how to dress up properly. They will know how to talk properly to officers, talk to anyone in general. So they will have an upper edge. It is said that any habit, if you form for 21 days, it becomes a part of your character. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. So these people, for 4 years, they'll learn how to get up in time. They will learn how to do their shaving properly. They will learn how to dress up neatly with all these attributes. And they will learn how to not to get late anywhere, always be on time, how to talk respectfully. So with this kind of attributes, when they'll be out of the defense forces, they'll be a much sought after lot. And as it is the beginning of the scheme has just been launched. So the Ministry of Home Affairs, they have also said that they will be giving reservations in Central Armed Police Forces, which means CISF, BSF, Assam Rifles, ITBP, NSG, NCB, IB, and likewise. So these are the places where they have promised 10% reservation to be given to them. So they have a fairly good chance of getting selected in any of these. Apart from this, various state governments in such a short time, like Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh government, Assam government, Karnataka government, Haryana government, Madhya Pradesh government. These governments have also said that these are going to be a trained lot and they will use them, they will give them priority in employment in the state police or any other departments of the state government where they are fit as per their qualifications. Apart from this, there are certain MNCs, Anand Mahindra of Mahindra and Mahindra Group. He has come forward to say that he'll give reservation and priority to these Agniveers. Also, Harsh Goenka of the RPG Enterprises Group, he has also given this assurance that he'll be giving priority and reservation to these Agniveers. This is just the beginning, and in due course of time, more MNCs, more of these companies and more of these corporations will come forward to offer jobs to these people, because they'll be a trained lot as compared to the others who are simply graduates and not got any professional exposure of this kind. One more thing is there, that they'll be having a sum of 12 lakhs with them after they retire after 4 years. So those of these Agnivis who are not interested in doing any job, they want to start some business of their own, they can also do this with that small capital. It will help them, because instead of taking a loan from the bank, and 12 lakh is not a small amount these days to start a small business or enterprise, that can also be useful to them. Others, those who they would have also done 12th class during these 4 years, they would have passed class 12, and subsequently they could have also done graduation through open universities while serving in the army, and subsequently after as being graduates, they are eligible to appear for so many competitive examinations of the central government and state governments, and they are likely to get a good job with their background and preparation if they do properly.
Sir, coming back to again, say for four years they'll be serving, and
Yes.
6 months they'll get the training of 6 months, and 3.5 months they'll be on OJT. Sir, what according to you, like, do you feel the period of 6 months is enough for the training to equip them with the particular domain, like if they are going in Air Force or Army or Navy? So do you think this time period is enough to equip them with all the technological front?
Yes, a very good question. In fact, this period of 6 months training has been decided after a lot of deliberations for almost 2 years within the Defense Ministry, all the three Army, Navy, and Air Force. When this scheme was conceived, that time there were a lot of discussions at all levels in the defense units as to what will be the training imparted to them. Now, a lot of people claim that 6 months is too less a time to give them proficiency training. But I can tell you from my experience, I have served in the army for 20 years, and I find that there are people who are serving with different specific requirements. They don't need to be, each and every soldier does not have to be trained in all aspects. Just to give you an example, we have regiments of artillery where they have to fire artillery guns. There are armored regiments where they have to operate on tanks. They have to fire some missiles. There are certain people where they are involved in logistics. There are certain people who are required in signal communication. In the army these days, communication by telephones, by internet, there is a separate department or a core of signals is there, what is called. Then we have a EME, electrical mechanical engineers. This core has got mechanics who are repairing the various vehicles which are in use in the army. So they can either become drivers, they can also become mechanics, they can be trained for some electrical work. Then we have some core of engineers. These are involved in construction of bridges or roads or other area equipments on the borders. Also, we have various clerks are required for documentation. There are so many people who are doing typing work, office work, what is called here. Then there are so many helpers, what is called sahayaks in the army parlance. Then we also have dispatch riders. Dispatch rider means they have a person in a unit with a motorcycle. He is just supposed to go and deliver the letters which are in the periphery of 10-20 kilometers. Because in the army, in the border areas, there is no postal service or courier service available. So as I've listed out, these various duties do not require very much detailed training of all kinds. First of all, when the Agniveer is selected, he will be assessed and assigned a particular role. That this role, if he is given the role of a driver, then he'll be given training for driving. If he is given the role of a mechanic to repair vehicles, he'll be given the training according to his level, what all he can repair, what level he can do. All right. Then if he has to fire a missile or a gun, so accordingly, these people, since they have got tenure of 4 years, so the training will be focused in such a way that they acquire only those skills which are required for their performance in the 4 years, and not all the skills. So the 6 month period is quite justified. It is not going to be less.
How do you see we are catapulting and taking that demographic into the defense parlance, and how do you see this demographic dividend paying dividend to the nation's security?
In fact, what has happened over a period of time, it was felt that the average age of soldiers in the army was about 32 years, which is a bit above higher. And especially in the last 2 years, because of this COVID situation, which was there all over the country, so the recruitment could not be done. So this backlog of 2 years and retirement was taking place as normal. There was a shortage, and also the average age was going up. So this point was considered by the government and also by the defense ministry, because of which, keeping this in mind, they launched this Agnipath scheme. In this scheme, as a result of this scheme, the average age will come down to 26 years, which is quite okay, we can say, because in the defense forces, the young people are required in large numbers. First of all, these people are trainable. They can be trained for all the jobs. They have got all the josh, they've got all the energy and enthusiasm. If they have got this energy, these are the people with the right motivation, with the right kind of training. They can do wonders there. And so far as their overall profile of the army is concerned, we have these people will be given limited roles. Whatever training they'll be given, they'll be performing those duties. And we have other people who are of the rank of JCOs, of the rank of officers, who will be there to supervise them, who will be able to form their team. And this is an effort which is at the all India level. So we'll be having so many youth in the country who are not keen to go in for IIT or NEET exam, or do not have very much high academic ambitions. Those are the people who will be utilized for this scheme, and they'll make a good career for themselves.
You have served at the border areas, Indo-Pak border, you served Indo-China border as well. How do you see these Agnivesh coming to the army and contributing at the border areas? Again, you have the expertise at the border areas. So how do you see what will be their role at the border areas, and how will it will take forward the ambition of army, that is again protecting the borders, protecting the nation at the very best?
These Agnivesh, suppose there is a section of 10 people in the army, the smallest unit is called a section. Out of those 10 people, suppose 7 people are from the Agnivesh and 3 people are the experienced ones who are senior, who have put in more service. So they'll be trained in such a way that this section of 10 people works and moves ahead in a homogeneous manner, and their coordination, their movement, their actions are all supervised by the people who are older. Then we have JCOs, junior commissioned officers, then we have officers. So all these people will be looking after their work which they are doing. And as I told earlier, there are a wide number of duties. It is not only that every soldier has to be given a gun and he starts firing at the border. There are so many administrative duties. There are so many duties like clerical duties are there. There are so many duties where logistic duties are there. They have to supply ration. They have to supply ammunition. Somebody has to be in charge of the store. Somebody has to make the entries there. Somebody has to deposit send a letter from one place to the other. Somebody has to do repair of small kind. So all these duties will be distributed. So collectively, all of them will be working towards the common objective of defending our borders. Because when the army goes to war, it is a very organized effort. Each and every person knows his duty. What his duty is there well in advance, and that duty is rehearsed time and again. So that in the case of war, we also have something called operates. Operates are exercises which are done by the army units in peacetime when there's no war. So that is the time when the army units and formations, they go to the border areas, they place themselves there as they would in the event of a war, and what they call a war game. So in this case, each and every person is like a trial run. They do what they would be doing in the case of an actual war, and they are under observation during this time. After that, operation is over, exercise is over in 10 to 15 days. Then each and every person is told where are the shortcomings. If anybody has missed out something, then they are told as a team, as an individual, where they have missed anything, so that in actual war, such lapses do not occur.